Hey folks, this is Babbaginator. We're back in the long dark. We have just a few more hours until it is time to leave. What are we doing here? Oh, we're trying to avoid the gusty wind there. Two pieces of cloth left. Oh, we should take this in case we need to make a shelter. Most likely we won't. There's lots of shelters there. So why don't we then just leave that here? Okay, we'll do that. Okay, how are we going to do for food here? Porridge still. Make a little bit more porridge. If you're just joining us, my name is Babbaginator. Call me Baba. I'm a writer. I'm also a former computer games programmer, author of 2 books of poetry, creative writing coach, currently a data librarian at University of Toronto, and a longtime TLD player and a longtime D&D player and DM. So always have lots to talk about on the channel. I've been playing this game for a really long time, since late beta. And I think, let's see what our current number is. We are at 3,857 hours in this game. So, clocked a lot of time.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Most of that has been in Interloper. After I returned to the game, after taking a long break, I used to play Stalker, and then a few years back, I started watching people play on Twitch, and it reminded me of how much I enjoyed the game, so I got back in and was playing Stalker for a little bit, and then realized I really want to just play and really push myself, so I started trying out Interloper. And I failed a lot. I failed an awful lot at the beginning, but I've gotten steadily better. And now my longest Interloper run is 303 days, and my only misery run is 41, which also has the distinction of being a misery run with no bedroll and no bow. A very, very difficult way to do misery. Okay. Guess we could.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Cook some things here. This week is start of my... I have a little bonus holiday or vacation period coming up on Friday. I'm taking an extra long weekend. I'm going Friday, Monday, and Tuesday off. Hey, Ichi, good to see you. Hydrate. And cheers. And a big stretch. Big stretch. All the way up. Brah. Ah. And Baba. Bark, 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 bark. There we go. It fulfilled all requirements. Ooh. How's your week been? Ready for your nap? Yeah. I'm getting old. About like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I always get a little drowsy at work. There's a part of me that's really looking forward to sometime in late June. I think we're moving into our new office space. They're moving our... We have a temporary... How can I put it? For the last few years, the unit that I work for has been temporarily on a different floor. And because the main floor where the map and data library was located was under renovation. So renovation, we've been down to take a look at the renovation. Looks amazing. But one of the big things we're looking forward to is we have offices. So no more like open concept desks and cubicle type things. We'll actually have our own private space. And I benefit from the fact that I'm filling in for someone with some amount of seniority. So her office, which is my office right now, is a nice office, really nice office. So, and so it makes me think that I need to install a napping chair in the office. That would be ideal, but I don't know if they'll let me do that. Might get wise to me. Yeah. Okay, we got a fair bit of food already now. You want to make anything else? No. But yeah, tomorrow's my last day at work before I start my mini vacation. And tomorrow night is usually Thursday night. It's usually D&D night, but I have a number of people who are unavailable, so I get a break. No D&D Thursday night. Tomorrow night. So I'll take it easy. Maybe I'll watch some movies. Maybe I will work on some projects. Maybe I will... It's a little last minute, but I could try to see if I have any friends in town, writer friends in town that want to meet up for dinner. But got options. Or maybe I'll do the pragmatic thing and actually clean my apartment, which kind of needs a little bit of cleaning. I need to give a good mopping to the floors. And then I have to deal with the dining table, which is now just filled with stacks of books. Oh, that's the other thing I could do, is I could spend some time this weekend making terrain pieces for D&D. I already have one can. So we only have one more night here. So tomorrow, last day of work this week, before I take my Friday off. And pretty close to having cleared my slate of things to do. I have a couple small updates to take care of tomorrow. And then I have one student coming in who needs some help with a research project. And other than that, it's going to be pretty light. Yeah. Got any plans for the weekend? Friday morning, I get to go and take care of the last stage of getting my vehicle registered in Ontario. Very exciting stuff. I have all the insurance taken care of, got all the other exams and everything else taken care of. Yeah, today was, the last couple days have been pretty wild. I actually did not stream. Was it Monday night? I didn't stream. It was partly because the AC wouldn't kick in. It was just blowing neutral air for the whole day, and it was so terrible in the room. It was, my apartment was like 29 degrees Celsius, which is like 78 degrees Fahrenheit. It was miserable. It was absolutely miserable. And then finally, it started working properly yesterday afternoon. Or, I guess, yesterday evening. It started working. So, like, late afternoon when I got home and I fiddled with the settings and then figured out what was going on, and then it started working again. And then by this morning, it was fine. But also, the weather had completely changed from being like miserably hot to suddenly a little cool. So, yeah. Then I think we're expecting rain tomorrow. Really different. Okay, let's see here what we have tomorrow. Lower temperatures expected tomorrow with a high of 13 degrees, which is pretty cool. Well, it looks like it is going to be sunny, but it's the weekend. Saturday is going to be rainy. Sunday is going to be raining. Yeah, and I'm going out of town on Saturday for part of the day at least. So I'll be indoors for most of that time, though. So. Okay. I talked to my mother on Sunday, and she said it was snowing. I was complaining about the heat, and she was saying it was snowing. So, Saskatchewan. All right.
Sounds like night is coming.
Yeah, we should give Bloody Cactus a shout out. Oops. I was about to shout myself out. That kind of is funny, but not really the right thing to do.
Oh, we got him.
I really hate to birds.
Are you a free kill? You a free
That's
kill.
wild. How'd you get on the roof?
I've never seen that.
That's totally wild. Degrees. Still doing well. This was a really mild night. Let's see if it stays like that. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that before. That's kind of weird. Fun, weird.
I'm starving.
Still need to go a little bit longer. That's
I'm
cold.
not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, we could try reading books. Yeah.
All I can think about is food.
Day 12. We are officially on day 12. Okay. Okay. Try reading another hour.
Can you eat trees? Because I'm gonna eat a tree.
Okay, here we go. Okay, time to move. Time to move. It's that time we're doing the challenge where we have to go everywhere. Survive random amounts of time. Roll with it. See if our luck be with the dice. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Okay. Question is, do we go or not? The moment we step out, we start our time in the new region, and we don't get to come back in here. It's really gusty out there. Doing time-wise. Okay, we're gonna do it.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Blizzard. Okay. Blizzard we can deal with. Okay, so time to roll. It is time for that challenge roll. D10. 3 days. That's going to be fast. Oh, we got the hammer last time. We found it in Coastal Highway, so we got very lucky. But we still don't have a bedroll. So
I think my stomach is eating itself. I can't feel my hands. Do I? If I don't warm up soon.
okay.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Nick certainly grabbed everything we need.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Yep, more matches. second. Okay, I just got a message I have to follow up on for a second here. Yeah, okay, looks okay. So I'm requesting my help with something next week, but it should be fine. I don't have any scheduling conflicts. Okay, so our task here is to get as close to the Riken as we can get. But our first step is really to find our bedroll, if we can, at the Hibernia. So that's where our first stop is. Go to Hibernia.
Perfect.
Yes, it is. Love it when things come together. We have the hacksaw and the hammer. Now we've got even more options.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Almost certainly to go out here in a second.
Starting to feel numb. Oh, so cold. Really bored with this much gear.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Mm-hmm. Hey, unknown fella, welcome in. If you're new to this channel, we are in the middle of a challenge. I do interloper runs with twists. This is kind of my favorite thing I can do to really punish myself.
It's so cold. I'm warming up a bit.
Oh, Weevil! Changed your name again. Won't come in. We got 3 days in Desolation Point, but we do have the hammer, and we just picked up a hacksaw, so we're on track. Totally on track.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Quick search here. More batteries. More fuses. Battery, battery, battery. Well, it's a short week. We had a long weekend, including Monday off. And then, so we find the bedroll. Oops. And then I have my little bit summer vacation time I'm taking beginning on... I don't see the bedroll, do I? Flare gun, no bedroll. Okay. But yeah, so I'm taking a little bit of time off. So from Friday, this Friday through to Tuesday, I come back to work on Wednesday. But yeah, so a little time off. I have one road trip to take on Saturday. And it's mostly going to be relaxing. I think work on a few projects. Maybe I'll sit down and play the last chapter, last episode. Yeah, at this point, Weevil, I just kind of think of you as the streamer that changes their name every so often. No bedroll here. But things are going pretty well at work. Yeah, I definitely have had to scale back streaming, and some nights I just don't have the energy at all, and I just take the night off. No, you got to do what you got to do take care of your own health. You can't. I don't think any of us make enough from streaming to be able to justify taking off, making it our main source of income. It's I like the community and I like streaming, but I don't like it enough to make it like a 6 or 7 day a week job for myself. Yeah, there's just not the viewership to really justify it. You'd have to do something else. 6. But I don't really want to play most of the games that have big viewership.
This'll come in handy.
Oh, well, that part will come in handy. Yeah, now we're talking. Now, if I wanted to do something that would pay off better in terms of Twitch streaming, one, it would not be fast, but I would consider starting a talk show. And I would just interview people and maybe do silly things. Like Prof. Niels and I talked about doing something like that, where just interview streamers about TLD or interview streamers about D&D, but pick people who like have really interesting, unusual perspectives. TLD would not necessarily draw the numbers we need to make it work, but yeah. I don't know. I play for fun.
Hope nobody needs this anymore. Oh, lucky day.
I do it because it's a great icebreaker when I'm at a singles mixer event or something. No. So, what do you like doing for your spare time? Well, I like playing survival games where I'm the only person left in the world. Oh, really? Yeah, there's a real thrill in like having to wander over this vast, terribly beautiful and at once depressing landscape. and have to fight off wolves with my bare hands since I haven't had a chance to make a weapon yet. What? Are you like really good at it? No, I like everyone else. I die all the time. And this is fun? Yeah.
I could use these.
Okay, we've kind of completely struck out here on the bedroll thing. It's just really depressing. I don't know if there's a chance to find it in the lighthouse or the stone chapel, but those are the places. Oh, we still have the, whatchamacallit, the, Scruffy's Den. Try there. Yeah, could be in the cave. Okay, let's boil some more water here. Mm-hmm. We climbed up and peeked around the boxes, and there was no bedroll. There was just a flare gun. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what stuff we have to tear up here. Three days in DP is rough. Yeah, it leaves us a very short window. We have to be in and out very quickly. And we have to forge in that time. Well, we came in on the blizzard, so we got lucky in that respect. We were able to traverse most of the region without having to deal with wolves or bears. Did we get the good tool set? Yeah, we did. Okay, how long is it going to take us to repair this? 1 hour. Water might boil out, but yeah. Mm-mm-mm. We're now going for a red theme. Okay, let's eat some food here. Okay, let's see
I'm
here.
gonna need to eat soon. God, I'd eat anything right about now.
Okay, so I'm down. More blizzard.
I can barely walk with this much gear. I could eat a horse. I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Oops, wasted a match.
Where can I find something to eat?
We're day 13. We leave day 15. Pretty much we gotta get out of here, onto the boat, craft, get out.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Oh, there's a boat out there. I mean, there's a boat here, but there's the fishing boat that usually has good fish on it, but we're fine.
barely walk with this much gear.
Currently debating if I have the... I'm feeling enough energy to stay up and finish the forge and get out of here. Or if we just do the forge. Or if I take it easy tonight. Since I'll likely stream more well on my break. Exception being Saturday, since I'll be out of town for the thing. Okay.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Oh boy. Kind of sleepy right now. Okay. I can tell I'm getting sleepy. So, probably wrap up here a little early. Ooh.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay, so let's see, how much scrap do we have? 13. Need more. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting sleepy. Okay. 17. Hmm. Okay, feeling sleepy. Let's focus. Focus. Ooh. Day 13. So we got 2 days left. I'm about to crash. I am about to crash. I'm getting pretty sleepy. Had a long. I won't say it was a busy day, but it was a pretty long day. So I'm going to probably wrap up here. We will save the forge for next time. We're pretty much good to go for that. So let's just pass time to complete our save. Okay. We're officially day 13. Okay, so let's just read a poem and then I'll go raid someone and then fall asleep somewhere. So, yeah. Let's read a poem. Refusing the Dark. It's been a while since we read that. We'll read that. That's part of a unfinished third manuscript of poetry. And at one point, and this still might be true, this was the title. This is what I was considering as the title for the manuscript, and this would make this the title of the poem. I don't know if that's still the case, but it's a possible start. Okay, so this is entitled Refusing the Dark. Tonight, driving home through what might have been fog or low cloud, I find myself singing out of habit, or perhaps out of some antique sorrow I've forgotten, nestled in the silent space between ribs. The car before me hidden, a mystery like the road itself, all but buried in river gray. Through the windshield, I can see the lights set high over the freeway, burning like great wheels of fire, and yet nothing like the voice of God enters here, only the lingering whisper of pavement and tires, the old lullaby full of disappearing and turns. How things merge unexpectedly. In the wind, the bright echo of stars, the animal dead congregating at the side of the road, their eyes fixed in the past. Everything slows down at the curve. Every heart slips a gear, and the lungs give out at last. The body empties itself in such moments, as mine does now, in a single note that trails behind like the memory of fire, the summer that the hills burned, and the sky, black as spilled ink, fills with the names of all I did not know I loved, of everything that comes to the lips to refuse the dark. Okay, so that's a poem that kind of it plays off of a couple like memories that I have. Some of them from Canada, but a lot of them actually from California. There was one time I went down to Anaheim. I think I might have been all the way down to Anaheim for some sort of a reading event or something. And it was pretty far down. And I was driving back to Los Angeles. And I remember as I was driving back to Los Angeles, there's a section of the highway that they have these really tall overhead lights to help fill in sort of the darkness during some of the stretches where there's very little that you can see. You know, there's no lights from the surrounding area. It's just open space. And I'm driving through one of these areas, and there's this huge fog. It's middle of the night. There's a fog out on the road. And when you looked above you, you could see the lights, except for the lights were so obscured by the fog that they looked like UFOs or spinning wheels of fire, you know, which made it remind me very much of I think it's in the book of Ezekiel. I think it's Ezekiel has the great burning wheels of fire, and so I kind of made that reference in there. And the poem's really about like these moments of complete solitude when you're driving through empty spaces, or metaphorically through your own life. And there's silence and there's distance. And all that you see is sort of decay or disappearing. What keeps you holding on, in these moments? And so, the speakers kind of engage with this simultaneously, this wanting to just let it all out in a single, like, voice or note or like not quite a scream, but just kind of let it out. And yet at the same time, there's all this memory that floods back in. So even if you are feeling like this overwhelming sense of like loss or grief or anxiety about the moment, about what comes next, there is simultaneously this rush of memory that reminds us that there are things to hold on to. So that's kind of where the poem was going. Yeah. Okay. So I think that may still be the title poem. I still might keep the manuscript, the book titled that, Refusing the Dark. The book manuscript right now, in my mind at least, and I've got parts of it that are partially done, and a lot of it that's just notes, which is a good summer project. You should buckle down and work on that maybe this long weekend that I'm giving myself, I should spend some time working on some things. So I know some of it are like these poems that are already written, which kind of feel like they're still tapping into this older vein of crossing long distances. But I kind of realized that a lot of these poems really are about middle age. So I feel like that's like a section of the book. Or a thread in the book. There's another thread which I think has to do with stars. And, sort of this, I'm fascinated by how much of what we see in the night sky is already gone. By the time light arrives to us, the thing that was showing that light, shining that light, that celestial body, is already gone or almost gone, or at least so much time has passed. And so I kind of, been thinking about stars in that way, and also thinking about gravity and black holes. A lot about black holes, actually, and event horizons. And so there's a certain number of poems that revolve around those type of themes and ideas. And then I started to realize that the Letters to the Unknown Wife project, which I kind of abandoned, I think I might go back and write a few more and flesh that out. And it might be its own separate chapbook, or it might be a section in this manuscript. And then the final section, I think, which I don't know if it's the final section in the collection, but a final thread, are what I'm calling birthday poems. Because I've been thinking a lot about, I fell into this pattern, and I haven't done this every single year, but a lot of times close to my birthday, I will end up writing another poem. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that if you've been around on the channel long enough, you've probably heard me mention it, but my birthday happens to also be the day that my father passed away. So my father passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS, and he was in hospice at the time. And as it happened, he passed away the morning of my birthday. And now it's not, how can I put this? I don't feel any anger or bitterness about that. The night before, we had held like this big event at the hospice for my father as an opportunity for him to hear from his old friends and from family members that had traveled in. And we all knew that his time was coming to a close. And so it was a way for us to give him a farewell, and for him to have one last opportunity to be with all of us. And so I knew he wasn't going to last much longer, but I didn't expect him to pass away on my birthday. And so every year on my birthday, I am simultaneously, celebrating like another year, and at the same time remembering that my father doesn't get older. He's still in that same age all the time. And so I look forward and I look backward. And so because of that, I find like, I'm not writing the same poem every single year, but I do find that there's usually something that comes to mind roughly around my birthday, and I end up writing something about it. And then sometimes it's just like the process of getting older. When you hit certain milestones in age or in your life, and or you don't hit certain milestones, as the case may be. That's really more my case. And so I'm reflecting on that. So I think that those things come into play. I don't know if maybe they'll work in the book. Maybe they won't work, but I will probably still go ahead and write that series and I think I'm probably going to have to go back and write some of the poems that for years I didn't write poems. I know I have an idea for what I do for, my 50th birthday. And I know, other birthdays that have kind of significance, whether it's the things that were happening in my life at the time, or the number itself is interesting to me, or the milestone of getting to that year, was also important. So, yeah. Anyways, rambling on. So we're going to go find someone to raid, and then we will be back. So let's see. I said I will be. I think I have a meeting Friday night, which may finish in time for me to stream. I know Saturday I'm going to be gone all day. Saturday anyways, I'm usually busy in the afternoon, so it's hit or miss as to whether I stream. Sunday, I could probably stream. And we'll see about Monday as well. We'll see. Because I won't be as exhausted because it's all vacation time for me. So. Okay, so let's see who we can go raid. Hey. Hyperman is up. QC Gaming. Let's see. So I'm doing Chapter 3, Episode 3, Road to 1,000. I don't recognize a lot of these people. Learning to Die on Interloper. Okay, that looks promising. Okay. We have okay. Okay. We'll try someone a little bit odd, a little bit different. I've never visited this one before, but it's always worth giving people a try, see what they're like. We're going to raid Commissar, who is, as you guessed it, a leftist socialist. I don't know how ironic that is, or how extreme, but is playing Interloper, and we support that. Okay, so yeah, thank you all. We'll be back again in the near future.